All right, you guys, how you doing? It's Roman from Gratitude, and what we have for you is a short video on some cool techniques that'll help you get even stronger in your crescent lunge. Now, what we have here is we have Carly. Carly is one of our teachers. She and I got together today just before her 12 o'clock class and shot this short video. We're discussing, how we can add more value to the community, or even if you're not a member at our studio and you're a teacher at another studio or a student at another studio. We just want to make sure that we're adding as much value as we can. So we decided to put this little video together, and what we have for you are little techniques, couple exercises, and some points of view that will help you get even stronger in your crescent lunge. So let me go ahead and roll the film. So what we have here is we're just going through a couple things. Now notice what she's doing with her hips. Let's see if I can pause the video and maybe reverse that. There you go. So what you're noticing is I asked Carly to bring her hip sort of out of place. Where is it? Where it is, right about there. And if you notice here, this is her right hip. And typically, so this is her right leg. Typically in crescent lunge, if your right leg is forward, many students start with their hip forward, and a lot of the pressure forward and not appropriately placed and aligned in your hip structure. So what I asked her to do was move back and forth and to show us how to align, and she just did it right there. Let me go ahead and rewind it just a moment so you can see it, and then I'll hit play again. Now just notice this hip. This is her right hip, and watch how she draws the right hip back. It's what we call squaring the hips. Right there, bang. Now from here, this very basic exercise here where you've got a blanket underneath it, what you're doing is you're strengthening these muscles, right? This is called hip extension and the muscles of the backs of the legs. And it's the hip extensors, the hamstrings, the glutes, etc., that really help to stabilize during crescent lunge. So what we want to do is we want to go through this range of motion. So you slide it back. Oh, and you can tell that's very difficult. And then you're going to go ahead and take that left leg and slide it all the way back. Sorry about the focus issue there, you guys. But if you notice, as she slid it back, that right hip actually went right into place. Let's go ahead and see if we can do that again. Draw the right hip back and then come up. So you're going to want to do this exercise 5 or 10 times. It's a great exercise, even if you don't want to do crescent lunge ever, if you're in the gym. Now here, let me go ahead and pause the video. She was telling me a little bit about what she finds a lot of times right there. I'll just pause it. And I find this, and if you're a teacher, you probably notice this as well. A lot of times there's this sort of bowing of the back. Now, Carly has a lot of great flexibility. I've got great back flexibility. And sometimes we dump into it. So I really want you to watch what she does here. I'll go ahead and hit play again. So the first thing you want to do is square your right hip back like she did, integrate it, but then draw the midsection up. And just notice how you can see her abdominal muscles there coming into play. So now, let me pause it just so we can continue on this little narrative here. The principle that we use at Gratitude is from the floor to the core. And by rooting down your feet, the first thing, foundation first, by stacking your joints, knee over foot, by integrating your hips, you can see how squared her hips are, and then by involving the core, by looping the tailbone under and enlivening the pubis, you can see how she's more upright. I'll go ahead and hit play. And she even fortifies the core even more. And as she goes down into that, now let me go ahead and rewind that. Notice a lot of times what students do from this position here, you guys, to bringing your hands down, the hips become disintegrated, and then they lose all the alignment. I wish I had Carly sort of demonstrate how that is, but she did it beautifully. Watch. As I hit play, she comes down and doesn't lose any of it. Very, very, very strong in through here. All right. Carly with her left foot forward, just so the teachers in the house can really get a good sense of the visual, and also the students who are watching this can utilize that visual sense to hopefully help them get even stronger in the crescent lunge. So there's a basic exercise, just like we did on the other side. You slide the blanket back and you slide the blanket forward, integrating your left hip back this time and your right hip forward. And she comes up. So again, you're going to want to do 10, 15, 20 repetitions, however many it takes, really to stimulate and to let those muscles enliven and burn. Okay, so again, another example of how we kind of dump it into our lower backs. Now look what Carly's doing. She's bending the back knee. By nature, that right hip pulls forward and the left hip remains. But then she sinks into the pose, continues drawing her right hip forward. Remember, this is her left hip, her left leg. You can see the stomach muscles really working. So this is a core exercise. When you apply your core, you're going to get that stimulation. Thanks, Carly. Appreciate it. Okay, so what I want you to do now is go to gratitudehotyoga.com. You've been to our website here, right? And up here, click on the Retreats tab. It'll take you right to our Retreats page. We're going down to Belize May 11th through the 18th for a yoga retreat. Just to let you know, it falls on Mother's Day. I think Mother's Day is the 20th this year, so if you're unable to make it, I totally get it. But if you are able to make it, I want you to take a look here at the tuition and how reasonable it is. Single occupancy $2,400, double occupancy $1,900, triple $1,650, and for 4 people to stay in one of the very spacious condos, it'd be $1,450 each. But just to let you know, this tuition includes flight transfers to and from Belize International Airport to the island, boat transfers to and from the island up into the beautiful resort of Belizean Shores. It includes all meals for the week. It includes all yoga instruction as well as the condo fees. From there, I want you to take a look at some of the pictures that we have from previous resorts. Here's a picture of me working with a student who swore up and down that she would never do handstand. And, I got a way of helping people, see a brighter future when it comes to yoga. I do a lot of demonstrating to let people know a little how-to, a lot of hands-on instruction. I mean, it's like a mini training. Now, in the morning, we have an optional morning walk. Most people take it. It's just an absolutely grounding experience. And I'm going to click through a couple more of these pictures here. I got to tell you, some of the bonds that are formed here. I mean, there's Felicia. That's my significant other. We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary last week. My good friend here, Gabor, he met his wife on this trip. Well, he didn't know it, but he's got married to her, and they have a beautiful son. This woman here, Lauren Starr, has been teaching with me up in my former company in Massachusetts. She taught for me for many, many, many years. The bonds are just incredible. One of the days we have off, a lot of people choose to go cave tubing. Cave tubing is absolutely incredible. And here's a quick shot of the Yoga Palapa. Another shot of this catamaran. There's a 40-foot catamaran, and they take us out for the day. We go snorkeling, diving, fishing, beach barbecue. It's just an absolutely incredible time. Of course, there's some of the best diving and snorkeling in the world. The group, this is a larger group. I think we had about 20 or so people, and another larger group. This is in the yoga room. And here is the resort. This is Belizean Shores. We've been going there, since 2002, and I've done, I think, at least 2 retreats each year, so more than 20 retreats down here. I can't wait to go back May 11th through the 18th of this year. So if you're interested, what I need you to do is go ahead up and send me an email if you have any questions. feelgratitudeyoga@gmail.com, or if you're ready, go ahead and you can deposit the $350. It'll reserve your spot, and we'll start the process of figuring out if you'd like to retreat alone and get your own condominium, or if you'd like to couple up with someone else. Again, this is Roman from Gratitude saying thank you so much for taking the time to watch these videos. If you found that this was helpful, please pass it on and spread the love. And I'll look forward to seeing you in class soon. All right, take good care. Bye-bye.